it's a wonderful opportunity that you have accepted my invitation.
No, we bless God.
Yeah, with your name, and then on the top is Faith Exposure. It fits very
Mm. Well, it's all about believing God, and but this time of COVID-19, people are a little bit shaken in their faith, and it's not always easy to believe that God can do it. And
well.
so coming on the show is for me, it's great because I get to inspire other people to believe using my story and knowing that I went through difficulties, but yet I'm still in the walk. I'm still fighting. I'm still getting up every day and surviving and still wanting to serve God, because there's nothing better than to serve God.
Right.
So, if being on this show is inspiring someone to get up and to do something this morning and to come out of depression and to say, it's going to be okay. I am going to survive this. It's
Yeah.
just an experience. It's a tough time. I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to become strong from this. And by the help of God, I will get to the end of the tunnel and I will see the light again. And that is the most wonderful thing. So thank you so much for inviting me on your show. And yes, definitely give me a shout again. I'll be more than welcome to come back again.
All right. Thank you, sister. Is there anything you want to promote, your show, or any program that is upcoming?
Well, there's quite a lot going on in my life right now. I have the single, well, I think the single's going to come out for September, with a launch of the EP around that season. But at the moment, I don't have the timing, but from September, there's going to be quite a lot of exposure when it comes to music. So my single will be coming out. My music is coming out. So that will be on the music side. Thank you so much, Julia, for sharing. And thank you, Eunice, for being here. And guys, thank you so much for supporting my ministry. And when in terms of ministry, teaching ministry, I still teach on LCBN TV. So I think the best way to know what I'm up to, because I do so many things, is to follow my page. You know what? Follow my page, subscribe my YouTube, and be updated, because I like I said, I do quite a lot. So you need to know, go on my Facebook page and like Faith Maylis. Go on my YouTube and subscribe to Faith Maylis. We are going to do a big launch of the album. There's quite a big program for it. It's going to be something. I want you to be part of it. I'm not sure if it's going to be a live show, which is what I was hoping, but with the COVID, it might be on streaming. But it's going to be a big event, and I want you to be part of it. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like my page so you don't miss out on the alerts. And the single is coming out soon, and it's going to be completely different this time. Nice. I'm not doing plain, usual gospel. It's going to be a mixture of African flavor as well for the first time, and it's going to have I'll be singing in French, which is the first time that I release a French song. So it's going to be exciting. It's completely different. It's going to be new. It's fresh. I love the song, not because it's mine, but because the producer did amazingly. And, I play it all the time at home, even though it's not mastered yet, but I play it all the time and I just love it. So, yeah, but stay tuned. I hope you found the testimonial interesting, and do share and let people know what's going on. And
thank you so much. It's exciting. We'll be waiting for that song, and we'll be waiting for that September. It's not so far. It's just few months. It's just 1 month now, because we are now in August, and we're gonna be waiting for that day. So for now, what I do is just to spy, and then probably when I get that, I'll
keep spying. Yeah. Be on my page and keep scrolling and finding out what I'm doing. Yes.
Thank you so much, sister.
Thank you, Rochelle. And thank you, everyone who's online. Julia, Eunice, Samuel, and who else is that? There's someone else there. I can't see who that is. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. And do share. I hope my testimony is going to help someone.
Yeah, right. Thank you so much, Sharon. And to my father. My father is one of my biggest fans.
Oh, fan. Wonderful.
Right.
Thank you. Oh, we didn't ask the audience if they had any questions. Yeah. Guys.
If there are
questions. Did you have any questions on the testimony? Or can we let you go?
All right. If there are questions, please type it so. And our sister will be able to answer them. Thank you so much again, everybody, for your time. I really appreciate that you have listened.
Oh, Eunice, the question is coming just when you're switching off. So come on, girl.
Write it, keyboards. Type it.
Come on, then.
Right. It's
Margaret, do you have any questions?
I couldn't. Okay. So maybe it was in yours, right? Because the question is coming from yours, maybe.
Okay. All right. We're waiting for you, Eunice.
Get it on, lady. Come up with your question.
Okay. So Eunice is saying, how do I manage to keep going with everything? How do I manage to keep going? To be honest, sometimes it's hard. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes I'm drained. Sometimes I feel depressed. Sometimes I feel lonely. Sometimes I just don't want to get up and continue. So I'm like you all guys, you know, I'm not the superwoman, but I cannot lose faith. And I know you cannot lose faith. You cannot lose faith because your faith is your tool. Your faith is your armor. Your faith is your weapon. And if you give up on your faith, then you have nothing and the enemy will ravage your life. The faith is the only thing that you have to continue going. And, you know, if you do not believe that God is going to help you, if you don't believe that God's going to take you to the next level, you will never be able to make it. There's just no way around it. Yes, it is hard. I'm not saying being a single mom with 2 kids, having to find money every month to pay the bills, and yet still being, you know, having to go to work and do ministry at the same time. It's not easy. And sometimes I do wish I had someone by my side. I do wish I had someone to take the weight off of my shoulder. And but you have to continue on because what we have to remember is in all things, God is looking for those who are prepared to sacrifice everything for him. And when you do that, he makes a way for you to come out of those difficult situations. So whilst you may sometimes feel drained, you may sometimes feel depressed, you may sometimes, it hits me. I'm not going to lie that sometimes I do have my dark days, you know, where I don't want to get out of bed. You know, I'm in a low mood. I don't want to talk to anybody. But I find my strength in comfort and in knowing that God is with me, and that you know, God will say, okay, take a couple of days, be miserable, eat a lot of carbs and pizza, and and drink all the cokes you want, and you know, watch all the movies on Netflix, and you know, not talk to anybody and turn the phone off. That will be me. That's me when I'm in my low mood. I'm not talking to anyone. My phone is off. I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to be in my bed, watch Netflix, and be miserable. But then I will pray and I will play my gospel music And as soon as I listen to my music, and I will sing one song and another song and another song. And by the time I realize, I'm starting to get out of bed, and I brush my teeth, and I get washed, and I get dressed, and I get up again.
Suddenly you wake up like that.
Suddenly you wake up and it's like, oh, what can we do today? All right. And hey, I'm fired up again. But we're not, I always say we're not superhumans. And God knows that we go through, we're tired, we're fed up, we go through our difficult times, and he understands. And he's not asking us to be superheroes. He's asking us to understand how humanity and being able to be miserable and not feel guilty about it. I don't feel guilty about being depressed anymore. I don't feel guilty about having my low moods every day. I know how to go to him when I'm in that instance, and I know to leave my troubles at the altar. So I'll go there and I'll say, I've had enough. There's not enough money, blah, 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 blah. My friend has done this, or this person's done this to me. And I'll be miserable for a couple of days. And then as I feed myself with the word of God, as I listen to my music, especially if you're a worshiper and you like music, Eunice, music is your weapon. Use that as something to help you get out of those moods and find your strength again. And sometimes it's just you surrendering to God and allowing him to do his restorative work in you to take you to the next level. Otherwise, if you think that you're superhuman and you're going to do everything by yourself, it's not going to work. You need to rely on God. You need to rely on God.
Because for me, what I can say to Sister Eunice is that I actually have the same thing that I felt before. Your question relates as well with what I felt before. I can say that the first step that I actually did was just to accept that those things happen. Those failure already happened. Those people that passed in my life already came. And I actually just accepted that, of course, it hurts. And then I can't do anything backwards. But one thing that I try to think is that there's still chance because it's in front of me. There's a new life in front of me. And I think that most of the time, just don't forget to speak out your emotions to God. If you are not really praying, it's way of praying when you just say exactly how you feel, how you think. And that's how you actually release those negative things in your mind. And it's a power once you discover those, being thankful in those hard times. I also have those times where I lose my faith. I actually say that I don't want to believe now, but there's something deep inside of my heart that says contrary. It's just that my mind says I have to give up. But actually, our spirit knows that giving up is for cowards. And remember that the word says that God is near to those brokenhearted. So despite of the trials, he still provides us the strength. You see, we still can survive. We still can make it. So we will be inspired in life. That's how you're going to inspire millions. That's how you're going to.
That's how it will be. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So Eunice, you have my details. You can call me anytime. I've already told you this, and I'm here for you. So anyone who's also on that page, you can send me your DM and, talk to me, and I'll be here to, empower you and help you through those difficult times, because I've been there too.
Right. So if there's more questions.
If there's no more questions, I think we are done for today.
Yeah. So you are able to, you can leave me alone if you'd like. Just after everything I can throw in. Right. But thank you so much, sister, once again.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna message you again the next time. We're gonna find something else.
Yes. Right. We'll do another one. We're just about to go, and Julia says, what would you advise to say to another Christian who is not being treated well by their church brethren? Well, my dear, if you look at my page this week, I said I wore the t-shirt I've worn the pin, I've worn the cap, and I even have the bumper sticker. Okay, so when it comes to being mistreated by church members, I'm your number one. So you're coming to the right person. I've lived it, done it, seen it. You know, what can I say? I think we have to come out of, and I'm not giving people excuses, okay, for their misbehavior.
Exactly.
But I think as Christians, we need to come to a point to understand that my bishop always says that the church is a hospital, and most of the people who come there come to be receiving treatment from God, by God.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with it. But I also disagree that even though you are receiving treatment, you continue to misbehave in the meantime. Exactly. So people come to church and they get hurt. But when you get hurt, you need to, for me, I've learned to have a big coat. And it's funny you bring this up because it is absolutely disheartening. And I've just experienced something yesterday that was very disheartening. And even as I was coming to do this show today, it was still on my mind. And God was saying, release it, because you're not going to be able to minister. Human beings are human beings, and human beings will always be who they are. So they will do things, even when they are in the church, that are really, really out of this world. You have people who are rude, people who are jealous, people who stand in your way, people who will put stumbling block in your way, people who will gossip. I've had people who connive plans to make you fall, people who carry your name around the church about issues that you're not even involved with, people who talk about you for hours on the phone, and then you realize that people have changed, that they don't say hello to you anymore, that that person is not your friend anymore, that person doesn't want to walk with you anymore, and you're wondering, what have I done? Why is she not talking to me anymore? Or why is he not talking to me? Or you organize things for the church and people don't turn up because you're the one doing it, or you do things and people will split the group and take one half with them and convince a group to not be part of you and start something else on the sides because they don't want you to be involved, or they want to be at the forehead. So like I said, I've learned, I've worn the t-shirt, I've got the cap, I've gone through that experience. What I come out with is that as a Christian, and I don't like to always blame the devil, because human beings are their own enemy. But we have to remember that human beings are broken.
Yeah.
And I think my first and foremost help would be to say, look at human beings as a broken, psychologically broken being. And when you do that, you're able to say, this person is a narcissist. And because this person is a narcissist, this is how this person acts. This is how this person behaves. This is how this person will deal with this situation. This is how this person will treat me if I come close to them. So you now learn to act a certain way around certain people, because you know that human beings are broken. So not everybody is your best friend. Not everybody should be in your inner circle. Not everybody should be into your cluster or your core of people you're moving with, because not everybody will appreciate you. Now you can be in church and have a big circle of friends, but you can also be in church and not have too many people around you, because as long as human beings are broken, they will break you. So you need to protect yourself. And it's not because they are in a hospital, which is called church, that they're healed.
Yeah, I learned
the Holy Spirit is still working on them.
I learned something the same when regarding that question. You know, when I was mistreated, they actually made a video about me without mentioning my name, and it reached thousands of people.
Wow.
And then suddenly they know me, you know, suddenly they degraded me and sent me to hell. And what I could say about that is I actually didn't tell them reverse, you know. I just ignored, but I forgive, and then but I don't want to excuse them of their misbehavior. So sometimes you have to go to legal process whenever people are misbehaving against the law. And even though they are Christians, and even though we have that Christian faith and background, we still have to not take personal most of the things people say. I think it was King Solomon who wrote that in Ecclesiastes. There are, just like what you said, people are mostly broken, so sometimes they reflect on others because of jealousy, because of hatred, disappointments. And who else among of us is not broken, you know? So we just have to understand and reflect why they do so, and ignore, leave them. If it's easier to the only person that is not easy to leave is yourself, actually. So what you can do others, you can do and try. You can give them chances, but if they are repeatedly doing it, then that's already addiction.
And sometimes it's not even you allowing them to get to that stage. I think we, like as I was saying, we need to be able to protect ourselves. So it's not everybody that you're a friend with. It's like you know, you're born in a family. I'm born in family of 7, so I know that we all have different attitudes, and I know how to behave with each and every one of my brother and sisters. And what I will tell one, I will not tell the other.
Exactly.
What I can confide in one, I will not confide in the other, because I know how we are. So when you are in church, it's not everybody that needs to know your business. It's not everybody you confide with. It's not everybody you tell what you do. It's not everybody that you bring home for dinner. It's not everybody you sit with and cry. It's not everybody. And sometimes when we come to church, we think because the church is supposed to be this family environment, everybody is your friend. Not everybody is your friend, because the enemy is still at work even in the church. So you don't know who you're confining with, whether it's a gossiper, whether it's a Jezebel, whether she's a witch, whether she's a warlock, whether. So you need to protect yourself. You know, the church is not, you know, the church is just as bad as outside. You know, we've heard of rape, we've heard of child molestation, we've heard of all kinds of things, women being abused. So you need to protect yourself in church. Church is not the safest environment out there. Whilst we want it to be, it is not. And we have to remember that's why there are policies to protect children, to protect women, to make sure that people are not abused and mistreated and all these things. And you need to protect yourself. But when it comes to Julia, when it comes to encouraging your friend, remind her that human beings are human beings, and that they're broken. They're broken. And what they're doing to her is because they're hurt somewhere. So remember to not take it too personally. I know it's not easy, because I take things personally as well, and it grinds me for days before I can let it go. But ultimately, I go back and say, you know what? Human beings are human beings. And whether we're in the church or not, human beings will be human beings.
Exactly.
So, you know, they will lie about you, they will gossip about you, they'll be jealous about you, they will connive about you. What they do at work to, you know, for you to miss the promotion, or miss the pay rise or whatever, it's the same thing that will happen in the church. You know, human beings will stand in the way because they don't want you to perform. They don't want you to minister. They don't want you to go higher in ministry. And it's at every level. You know, it's in the worship team, it's in the pastoral team, it's in the leadership team, it is within the church organization itself. You know, churches are fighting each other to become the greatest church in the UK or in the world. So human beings are human beings. But my advice is protect yourself. Protect yourself, because those broken people will break you. And if they do break you, it will take God a long time to restore you.
Right. So now we have reached 1 hour and 30 minutes.
And 30 minutes. We're supposed to have finished by now. So guys, we're gonna love you and leave you. But you know my page. You can come to me anytime. And Julia, please recommend your friend to come and see me. I don't mind talking to her.
All right. So thank you so much, everybody. Now it's a final final
it's goodbye. The final goodbye. Don't you send your questions now. We're leaving.
Yeah. See you again next time, friends. And
yes, thank you so much.
We're gonna find up something, right? So right. So God bless you, everyone, and
yes,
see you again.
See you.
Panahon, paano haharapin ang binibigay na hamon? Hirap makatayo, nilulumpo na bawat laban. Dulot nitong pasakit, masakit sa kalooban. Kay hirap maatim, ngunit dapat tanggapin. Hanapin ang liwanag sa gitna ng dilim. Handa kong tumawid kahit makipat ang tulay, dahil busilak na damdamin ang taglay ko at gabay.
Sisikan din ang
mo na sugat ang nagsisilbing lakas. Lahat ng di naranas, alam na may wakas. Tapang ng loob ang tutumbas sa pagsubok. Kinayang harapin, dagok at suntok sa sulok. Pagsubok na dumarating, kayang lampasan. Matibay ang dibdib, puso at isipan. Ako'y Pinoy, sa pagiging matatag. Hindi magpapati ng Diyos ang aking kalasag.
Kumapit sa langit, subukang manalangin. Bagong umaga'y paparating. Sisikat din ang araw.
Sisikat din ang araw, at sa mga pangarap ay hindi aayaw.
Bagong bukas ay matatanaw.
Bagong bukas ay matatanaw, at ating tagumpay sabay-sabay isigaw.